Hello and welcome to 2023 episode 101 of Test Your Might. We are back for a new season this year of Test Your Might. I hope you guys are ready because it's going to be a fun-filled year. We got a lot to talk about this week as well, specifically. But let me first introduce the panel. We have returning co-host Sean. How are you today?
Hi, I'm great. I was telling y'all I was dying around 5 o'clock, but I've recovered. I've got a second wind I'm going to use to carry my victory.
There we go. Furiosity as well. And if you heard that little laugh there, that little giggle, that's going to be stay-at-home gamer with the O in home as a 0. Mike, how are you doing? Welcome back.
I really wish that Owen home wasn't a 0 because that introduction sounds so cumbersome. But on the flip side, I'm ready to lose Test Your Might tonight. I'm not well prepared. So Sean, good game. GG's.
All right. Thank you for stopping in. We have already declared a winner, and we'll see you next week. No. So today we're going to be discussing a few things. One, PlayStation's in the news a lot recently. Not even about the ABK, Activision Blizzard stuff, but about a lot of other things. And then we're going to be talking about our predictions personally for 2023. We'll see if ours come true in the future and come back next year and see as well if we were correct. And then we also have Test Your Might returning, like I said previously. Who knows what crazy, groundbreaking shenanigans will take place this year. We've had a lot last year as well. Leave us a review on any podcatcher of choice. Spotify is the mobile only, of course. Like, subscribe, ring the bell up there on YouTube. Hopefully you're watching us because that's how you see us laugh our butts off here and see our pretty faces. And make sure if you like what you see,
Not mine.
if you like what you see, go ahead and comment down below. Let us know what you thought about the show. And also, we're going to be starting a draft section instead of the leaderboard today. So you guys are going to be able to decide who won that later on. But it has been a while here. So here's a little bit of housekeeping for you. One, we have a few funny little shorts on YouTube. We've started our short game on YouTube and thrown in some little clips of our other podcasts. So there is one on there from the What the Fun Glass Onion review, which we shadow dropped over this break. I know it's been a while. Sorry, guys. And then we also have Cicero's Game of the Year short as well up there. And also the episode Glass Onion, if you didn't hear me the first time.
Yep.
Then we have a question of the week. You guys ready for this? What was your favorite piece of content you consumed over the break? A game or a movie / show? Mike, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I didn't really finish any games, or like really got into them. So I'll save those for what you have been playing. But, couple shout outs before I get to my true answer. Top Gun. I had never seen Top Gun before.
The original?
And yeah, the original. And it was my first time viewing. Very enjoyable. I really did like that. There's a twist in the movie that I was not expecting. And I think that overall it's a fun, sort of action 80s flick. Tom Cruise had the biggest unibrow in that movie, by the way. Holy buckets, just huge unibrow. Anyway, so Attack on Titan, it just keeps getting crazier and crazier. So there's that. And then obviously we do have an episode out on it, but Glass Onion was extremely special to me. But my favorite piece of content, and I texted Sean this yesterday, I believe, but episode 6 of Andor is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. I know that I've said this on our other shows. I've also said it here on Test Your Might, and again, might come off as privilege, but watch it on a 4K TV. I think you're doing yourself a slight disservice if you don't, because it was beautiful. But also the story and just Andor itself. Again, I'm only 6 episodes in, but so far, and I think Sean can potentially attest to this. It's some of the best Star Wars in a long time. So, yeah, Andor, right. Episode 6.
All right. I still have yet to start it, unfortunately. Haven't had time. Over to Sean. What was your favorite piece of content this break?
Yeah. I mean, first, I'll agree. I don't know if it's the best Star Wars, because I don't know how Star Wars it is, but it is the best thing in Star Wars to me, by far.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I hear where you're going.
Yeah, I'm just slicing things. I mean, like that first thing, maybe it also is that I just haven't thought about it. I'm gonna break your rule. And my favorite thing that I've done over the break is a album that I found. Life on Earth by Hooray for the Riff Raff. It's kind of like eco punk.
Okay.
I hadn't heard of this band before, but I'm really liking what I'm hearing from them over the past couple weeks.
Oh, what was the name of the band again? One more time.
It is
Hooray for the Riff Raff.
Hooray for the Riff Raff.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I got it in here for future reference for myself. All right. For myself as well, my favorite piece of content that I consumed, it was kind of hard, like Mike. It was hard to decide. I have a lot that I consumed here, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the Dark Anthologies, The Devil Within Me. The newest game came out in October, but I just got to play it recently, and I'll be talking about that in a little bit. So, without further ado, let's move on to, it's been a while. What have you been playing? Sean, we'll start off with you this time.
Okay. I have a question for you, Justin.
Yes.
So don't let me forget.
Okay. I don't know what the question is,
Okay.
but I'll let you know.
I feel like all of us, it's going to be mostly true. Playing a lot of Marvel Snap still.
What?
More than usual,
How are you
because
still playing
I haven't worked. I haven't worked for 2 weeks. I don't miss my head.
No, it is.
It's going well. I've got a lot of new things happening. Having a good time being a little jerk. Then Mike has heard me. Over the past week, we've been like gaming simultaneously, talking to each other while we're doing it, and Mike has been hearing me play Blacktail, which is like a Slavic folklore. It has to do with Baba Yaga, and it's like her as a kid, going through a bunch of like trying to find her sister, and a bunch of like folklore is happening around you. It is pretty neat. It's not doing anything particularly like amazingly or like new, but it's fun to have a nice bow lady. The characters are like really cool to interact with, and there's one point in particular that's like I can't find the words to like most accurately describe what it is, but it's like the most something in like video games that I've had in a long time, if ever. Where there's like this side quest that's happening where so rocks are alive in this universe.
That's terrifying.
But they have this thing where like only like they don't like talk. I mean, they talk, but not with you. But like the cat can talk to it. The voice in your head can understand what the rock is saying. Eventually, you can't and don't even register that it's speaking other than people telling you that it is. And like they'll move when you're not looking at them. And there's a point in the side quest with them where there's like a rock war going on because some of them have been corrupted by this force that's corrupting everything. It's only been like organic matter before this point, but now it's seeping into the rocks. And so like there's this war going on, but they're rocks that don't really move if you're looking at them. So there's just like this field that's like a big, like just like open field with a bunch of like rocks in like weird positions, but like armor or stuff on. Or like swords happening, and you'll have like little missions where like you'll go to like claim a point or to defend a rally point, and you'll just be standing there in your character for like 5 minutes, and your character like throughout the time will be like, are we doing it? Is this? Oh, I guess we did it. Great, let's go. And then eventually they'll like start attacking you when you're not looking at them, and it's like it was such like a cool, neat little thing that was happening, and that was just like it was wild, and I loved it. But. Great.
Did you end up beating that game?
I did. Yeah. I finally ended up finishing it. It's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I think it was like 32 hours for me, but I like did almost everything. And the one knock I would really give it to it is like the boss battles are kind of a little meh. Like they're kind of samey, a little too repetitive, but Like, I think the vibes of the whole thing are worth it.
So they're like the angels from Doctor Who. That you just like when you
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
don't
it's
blink.
similar things, yeah.
Like,
I mean, more as I was telling Mike, it's like the stuff in Outer Wilds, but
Yeah. There's levels and puzzles in Outer Wilds that if you're looking at them, you're not going to solve them. You can't be looking at things.
Really?
Well,
and
actually,
certain
no.
things you have to solve them by staring at them.
You have to stare at them. Yeah, sorry, it was the opposite.
Yeah.
well, there's a level in Subliminal where you have to go down a hallway and choose left or right with arrows above you, and if you look the wrong way, it messes up the sequence and you have to restart.
Oh,
so that's a thing. Puzzle too. All right. Anything else, Sean, or moving over to Mike?
I think that's it. Destiny's happening.
All right. Destiny as well.
Oh, you just got to sneak that in, huh?
Oh,
You gotta know.
Go ahead, Mike.
So, whoa, voice crack. Whoa.
You have a question to ask me.
Yeah. If you want, do you want to do the what you've been playing first?
No.
For yourself.
We already moved to you. I might forget by the time. It's my turn.
All right. So, whoa. No voice crack this time. I started The Witcher 3. And it is incredibly beautiful. It is actually, I think I was talking to Sean when this moment happened, but I started playing the game on ray tracing mode, to check out the visuals and like see how it actually looks. Mm-hmm. and then I turned it to performance mode, which has dynamic resolution, so it still upscales to 4K, still is at 4K, and I will never go back to the ray tracing mode. It at a flat 60 FPS, like playing as Geralt, like in the combat situations and riding Roach and all of that, like the performance mode is just amazing, and it feels so good to be playing a 3D action open world RPG like that. It really does. So I definitely do recommend performance mode, but I also do recommend checking out the ray tracing mode. You can switch pretty quickly within the menus because Witcher 3 is a beautiful looking game. Continuing Lego Harry Potter with the Sun. Me and Caleb are almost done with Half-Blood Prince, and then we'll get to the finale. Yes, I've been playing Marvel Snap. Just a lot of it. I tried an experiment this week. The new season started, and so I decided not to upgrade any cards and just save all my credits until the following Monday. So save my credits for 1 week, save my gold for 1 week as well, and have around like 5,500 credits. So I'm excited to upgrade tomorrow, because tomorrow was my cutoff. So I stayed strong, Sean, as you told me to. And then finally, I was really in the mood of I was for some reason in the mood of like this big sort of like a bigger style game with some awesome combat. And so I installed Sleeping Dogs. And started playing that again, and I restarted it. I never really finished. I never finished it when I had it on the 360 a long time ago. But let me tell you, this is another fantastic game on the Series X and S with the FPS boost as well as the auto HDR. So it really does look good. The other conversation I've had with some people as well is that I'm just. The Witcher 3 is good, and I think I will finish it, but that is 50 to 60 hours to
100.
finish just the main story of Witcher 3. And then there's another 25 hours to finish just the DLC. And if you want to be a completionist, as Justin said, it is well over 100 hours. And so Sleeping Dogs, what's really cool is it is this open world that has a really tight, awesome story that's only 15 hours. And so I think just in my, I know I'm only 30, going to be 31 this month, but in my old age, I think I really need those Sleeping Dogs style of games that have a unique open world with a fun story. That only lasts about 15 hours. So Sleeping Dogs, great stuff.
Yeah, I remember when you played it a long time ago and you were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
brutal. It comes out of the
Oh,
blue.
yeah.
Like the brutality comes out of the blue in that game. Like you did not
It
see it coming.
really does.
Yeah.
I totally forgot. Like I put somebody's head inside an air conditioner,
the fan.
and
Yeah.
it was bad.
Yeah, that's a thing. I was not expecting it. I definitely remember that.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
As for myself, a little bit of Marvel Snap, of course. Enjoying the new season. Then I'll go over to Vampire Survivors. I stepped a foot back in. Also trying to finish the mobile version to give a full review for you guys out there. The mobile is definitely broken. Because I broke the console version already. Like I get it to crash and it's not good. But the mobile one, they actually stated that they rushed it out of development because there was so many copycats that were coming. So they didn't fix everything, and that's probably why there's that little bit of, half-second lag when you upgrade or level up, which could kill you. Still does happen. I've unlocked a lot of the game, but it's very buggy when you get it pretty high up there in levels. Yeah, but it's still good. It's a fun port. I'm playing on iPhone. Similar problems on iOS and Android, apparently. I did dabble into Among Us VR. This is on the Oculus, and the most fun I had was scaring the crap out of people. The 1 out of 6 times that I get to be the imposter, they don't know what They don't know what hit them. Number one, and these kids are terrified for the rest of their lives. Sorry, but it's fun for me, and I'm a mean person for scaring them, but it's what it is. Then I took my Xbox over to my girls, and we co-opted Dark Anthologies, The Devil in Me. The entire game, we beat it. Co-op, sitting on the same couch, and it is the best Dark Anthology I've ever played. This is the 4th in the series, and it's all about Henry Holmes, if you know who that is, from back in Chicago days, back with the World Fair. Do you know who Holmes is? You guys know? Not Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah, we've talked about him together for my Assassin's Creed pitch twice. Yeah.
Okay, H.H. Holmes. Yeah. This takes place back then, at the beginning, and then it takes place in a place that is very similar to the hotel, the murder hotel, almost an exact replica. And God, is it good? Hotel. Is it good? It is one of the best.
Talking about The Shining?
No. This is a hotel, not in Colorado. This is in Chicago. Well, I'm not spoiling anything, but I do want to say, if you give a player an option, I'm not going to spoil anything, but if you give a player an option to choose an animal or your own life, I'm always going to choose the animal. Okay, regardless, you're going to save the animal and you're going to die, or whatever's going to happen to you is going to happen. So don't give players that choice, because it's sad that I have to choose those 2 options when I don't want either of them to die or get hurt or whatever. Non-spoiler. Mike, question.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting that it is your favorite out of all of them, because I've heard like really nothing but complaints about like the bugs and just not as tight as I know the Quarry's not in that, but it's the same developer. But yeah, I've heard from the various podcasts I listen to, I've heard some
for The Devil Within Me,
damning stuff. Yeah, the most recent.
I didn't experience any bugs or whatever. Yeah. But when I was watching other people, it seemed, and like they were kind of complaining about, like it seemed more like unfair, or like not random per se, but like the choices were very like cutthroat. Like you mess up once, you're out, and like certain sequences were like felt disjointed, because like there was something that happened, but I can't talk about what it was because like whatever. But like you get a message from somebody, but you know they didn't do the message because you played them. But it came from them, as far as you know, because if it didn't come from them, because they died suspecting that it came from the bad person.
I didn't get that message.
Go that way.
I didn't get that message.
Yeah.
My playthrough
so there's weird things like that happening.
My playthrough was straightforward. We lost 2 characters out of the 8, I think there were. And one of them was my own choosing. and one of them was hers. So, you know,
Okay.
I got the happier ending, if that means anything. That's good. And the only description for that is the animal made it through the game. That was the happier ending. So I was happy with it. Other than that, that's it. I've been playing those things. But on to Test Your Might. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
First of the year,
Yeah.
episode 101. 101. IOI. So we have a lot of technology
Wonderful.
here, for the IOI reference there. Sean, we have a new feature called the Uno Reverse. You haven't been on, so I'm going to go ahead and describe it for the fans and for yourself. This is a skill that you can use anytime throughout any debate of the 4 debates there. And it allows you to trade arguments with the opponent. If you feel it's a downslide, if you feel like you're losing, you can just say Uno Reverse and trade arguments with them and then fight for the other person. Sound good? Easy enough? All right.
Cool.
Just know, Mike can also use it. Dun, dun, dun.
Just once, right?
Just once. One use throughout the entire Test Your Might section. All right. Going straight in. First debate topic. Here we go. Resident Evil Village's VR mode launches on February 22nd as free DLC for PSVR 2. So just buy that $1,000 headset and you can play for free if you already own the game. So pick a game that should get a special mode in VR. And why would it be better than your opponents? Sean, you haven't been on in a while. Well, you guys both were on the Mighties.
The what?
I was going to say it.
The Test Your Mighties.
I hope you're listening, Jelly.
Yeah.
I almost said it. It was that close. The Test Your Mighties. Pick a number 1 through 10. Scream it out on 3. 1, 2, 3, go.
4.
All right. My number was 7. It's always 7. Sean, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first. Sure. Yeah, I'm very confident.
All right.
I'm
go
not
ahead, Sean.
at all.
No.
Well, I mean, you can always reverse it, but
Oh.
Yeah, but that implies that I would be confident with your argument.
oh yeah. I mean, and the sad news is it's not going to be because you didn't spend enough time with this. So obviously, the game that would most benefit from some VR happenings is Outer Wilds. Mike was talking earlier about loving open world games with unique settings that last around 15 hours, and time to be on this baby is 16. So I don't know. Maybe we should return to the space mines. I don't know, but anyway. Outer Wilds is all about fully embodying the wonder and horrors of space exploration, and it's already first person. And a lot of first person games you could say would benefit from being VR because you get like that same experience of like more fully embodying like what is happening around you. But with Outer Wilds, it just takes it to another limit because it's already succeeding so well at all those things. And then just having that and then succeeding with all those things, it's also working so much with like the emotionality of it, like a whole spectrum of emotions. It's not like a horror game where like things are going to be scarier and like, yeah, you might like maybe even funnier sometimes with that. Like you get a whole arc of things and it's about like inhabiting your body in a place that's wonderful. And also, it'll probably make the ship even worse for people. And I say double down.
You're talking about the controls. I know I've heard those are.
Yeah, I thought they were fine, but I get it.
Now, I hope you know I've never played this game, so you did a very good job describing it to me. Enticing. Good job. Mike, go ahead.
For the record, Outer Wilds is great, and yes, I have not finished it, but I will be. It's one of my goals. And also, just give the controls a shot. You gotta get past it. But still, I will not be Uno reversing that because
Did you? You just said it though.
No, I'm not. I said I will not be.
Hands on the piece.
All right. VR
to me is yes, there are those certain experiences such as like Half-Life Alyx and, maybe even the Call of Mountain stuff that's coming out for Horizon here coming up soon. So yeah, there are full-fledged games, full-fledged stories and experiences to play in VR. But to me, VR is still niche, for me in particular. And I would rather go to VR for those niche experiences. And so I think just like a traversal, swinging, a moving around the map sort of VR experience for Spider-Man would be very, very enticing. It is it is something that Batman has done with the launch of the PSVR did have that Arkham VR game, and so to be in the bat suit, so to speak, in that game, I think it could translate over to a Spider-Man as well, and we know who have played Spider-Man, so listeners, and is it just me on this panel? I'm not sure, but the controls and the feeling and the traversal, like, it might be a cliche to say this, but it truly does make you feel like Spider-Man. And I think that those sort of controls, the movement and the setting in New York City would make a really fun first-person VR experience. Sort of just trying to be Spider-Man and traversing in the world. I don't know. I don't think there would be any combat situations. I would just feel as if there would be an awesome experience to be had with that.
So you're talking about a standalone game, just based on the license itself? Because there are
no.
What I'm
I
trying
think
to differentiate is there's Homecoming and Far From Home VR on the Oculus, which are kind of like movie tie-ins that are VR experiences.
Oh no, I'm talking about Insomniac Spider-Man.
Okay. All right, that's what I want to make sure you're doing. All right,
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Sean. Outer Wilds, the goat.
Yeah. Well, in Outer Wilds, if it was VR, you wouldn't need to, nope. You wouldn't have to wave and like associate with people in a positive way, fully embody that, and with people, maybe some people might not necessarily want to wave and say hi to, in the course of a game. Also, so we were talking earlier about Blacktail, and I said that the looking mechanic was part of Outer Wilds. I didn't even think that this was going to be part of the thing, but like having like there's already mechanics in the game that would work really, really like neatly in VR with like the looking and like keeping your eye on the ball, sort of, so to speak, and then like having to move away. I feel like that would benefit a lot from a VR setup, even if like it was just a special mode where it was like that and you were like doing like the trial area where you're learning to do like the weird physics stuff that's happening about like I'm forgetting science terms, so I'm going to drop that. But you get the point of it. I'm just not going to sound as much of a nerd. And then, so I think like just integrating the stuff that's already there like that is really good. And then just kind of hitting home like the locales, like you are going to inhabit, like you're going to be walking around a great locale at your home. I've told stories on here, I think before, at least to Mike, about like, hey, like the story that my character did, since you're like dying and repeating over and over, like my character died a few times and then decided, hey, I'm still gonna like set off the space so that people at my hometown like think that like everything's fine and I'm not like a baby or whatever, but then like just went and floated off to the other side of the homeworld and just like hid there for a while to like chill out and try to like piece together what the heck is happening to them. And I feel like that sort of experience, the like getting claustrophobic by like the sand rising on you, like all that stuff is just like living that out for more texturally.
More texturally.
Yeah. All my words are gone.
All right, Mike.
It's late at night. I do think that Outer Wilds could maybe even benefit from a VR mode for those trial sections, those puzzle sections in particular. I think that when you're moving throughout the world, and you are in first person already, and I think the benefit of that is just visually seeing that on a TV. I don't think you're going to understand the breadth and the scope really in VR. I think it will be sort of limited. So for me, like VR, like is you are setting yourself in the shoes of what you are playing. And one of the greatest experiences that I have had playing video games is just the traversal and the world movement of Spider-Man. And to have that experience first person, to be the web slinger himself, I know that it is a sort of a small experience, I guess, not totally grand in scope, because I'm not doing combat or anything like that, but people love to be superheroes. People. I mean, I literally over winter break, when all my kids were home, all of them were wearing capes, trying to be superheroes, trying to save the day, right? Like, and that is sort of what the experience is here. Yeah, it might be a little bit finite. It's not as expansive as in Outer Wilds, I will admit that. But it is the experience that is the joy, right? And I think Spider-Man's it'd be fun to fill his shoes.
All right. Sean, one more back and forth, and then that's it. So use it how you will.
Yeah. So, Mike, I want you to look your 5-year-old self in the face, or your kids even, and tell them that an astronaut is not a hero that you are embodying. You would be in Outer Wilds. I would also say that I'm living kind of in VR right now. Like, it's first person with VR and like astronauts in VR. But like, if you look at any of those space vids, like, you get it. You get it. There's no like there's no things cut out from that. The experience translates.
All right, Mike. Little bit of a side shot at you there, and then.
I don't know. First of all, yeah, an astronaut's a hero. My goodness, Sean. Okay. Secondly, I don't know if you're getting the full experience when you have to tackle the already cumbersome flying controls in VR. See, I'm experiencing Outer Wilds just playing with a controller, and that is cumbersome enough. But not to mention, now I'm getting into a VR headset, and now I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this world in VR, but also the twin stick sort of the stick flying mechanics that is Outer Wilds. It's already a complaint for newcomers until they get over it and start experiencing the real experience that is Outer Wilds. Now adding a VR headset to that, it could be a little bit too overwhelming for people trying to try Outer Wilds in VR.
All right. Wow. Those are some hard hits there. Mike. Originally, you had me when you spoke about, having a superhero game, having it linked to the Psychonauts version of Spider-Man, having it no bad guys. That scared me a second. But then you said, kids could play it. It's very family friendly. It's easy to pick up and go. And then Sean came at you with astronauts are superheroes too, which I agree with. But Spider-Man sells a lot. And a standalone experience that you'd be able to play as Spider-Man in Metropolis, is that the right place?
No.
Wow.
Sometimes in the Big Apple,
It's
Apple,
New York.
Yeah, in the Big Apple, would definitely sell. And for even people that are scared of heights, I'd be down to play. Easy to build off of engines that are already in the works. And probably cheaper as well. Even with the licensing, I think it would be cheaper because you would save more on what you sell of it. And people would buy it. So, Mike, somehow you won that one. Good job.
I don't know what cheaper means.
Metropolis. All right. On to the second debate. Are you guys ready?
Batman's better.
Superman's better. LG's 97-inch OLED TV. Have you guys seen this thing? It requires no wires to function. No wires to function. It uses this box that you plug into the wall with HDMI inputs called the Zero Connect. It allows you to transmit 4K resolution at 120 hertz wirelessly to the TV. Crazy. So pick a gaming product that would benefit from, or already does, from being wireless. This could be any gaming related product that benefits from being wireless or would benefit from being wireless. Sean, you went first that time. Mike, would you like to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay. Sean, the torch is back in your realm.
How specific does this need to be? Can it be like TV specific, or does it have to be like PS5?
I think TV would be excluded because the question includes.
Well, yeah, sorry, like a category of thing, like a controller.
It would have to be like controller would work. It wouldn't have to be like PlayStation controller or Xbox controller.
I'm gonna say the console, just the video game console itself. I am thinking PS5 came out because I am thinking of that for one aspect of my argument specifically. I think having the console itself be wireless is the most important part for various reasons. One is like the whole like station, like game station, like media station thing is kind of played out, and it's increasingly harder to get it to look nice with like these bigger and like hotter running consoles. I think being able to throw your console anywhere that makes sense for it to perform the best it can makes the most sense out of everything, and having it have to connect to a TV or to a power strip or whatever, like lets you put a freedom wherever it can like most freely breathe. And then also what that does is that you can then, like, if the console's wireless, I guess that kind of means like everything else is kind of wireless too about it. So it's kind of a cheat. But I mean, my best controller is already kind of wireless anyway, so there's that. But you can kind of just get it to kind of wherever it goes most, like fits in best into your home and also lets it run the best way it can.
Okay. Going with the game console itself. Go ahead, Mike.
So I'm going with a specific game console, and I'm giving it a little twist. Now you guys, you're gonna be like, Mike, you're dumb. What are you thinking? I don't know why you would be arguing this, but I have a reason.
Yeah, Spider-Man's not in Metropolis. Come on, Mike.
The Nintendo Switch. Yes, the Nintendo Switch. It is already wireless in a way, right? But it's but I would like to see a feature that is not all too dissimilar to this LG TV, but I would like to see a feature with the Switch because I played a lot of Pokemon when it came out. And when I played Pokemon in the mobile, the Switch version of it, instead of docked onto my TV, I would get a lot of hand cramps. Not necessarily like bad ones that really, but ergonomically, the Switch is not the best. And so what I would like to see is an added feature to its already wirelessness is that if you do not have a dock for it to communicate with a TV directly and send the signal over to there without any wires, so that you can have either the Pro controller to the side so you have a better ergonomic way of playing, or you have at the very least the Joy-Con sort of controller attachment that comes with the base Switch anyway. I think that would be really nice, especially when you're going maybe you're bringing your Switch over to a friend's house and you want to play multiplayer or something like that. You have the ability to put it on the screen instead of keeping it on that small screen when you're playing multiplayer. I think of 8 people matches in Smash Bros on a little small screen like that. it would be awesome if you don't have the dock, you'd be able to just send that signal directly to any TV that you see there. I mean, you would probably need a smart TV, to be honest, but so any smart TV that has internet capabilities or something like that, in order to experience the Switch, not or on dock but without the dock.
All right, we got Nintendo Switch, kind of like screen mirroring or casting. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, why is your video game console itself better, Sean, or why is it more beneficial?
Yeah, I want to first start by giving good news to Mike. There's a situation. It's already been made where you can have your Nintendo system where you play. You don't have to choose between playing it in your lap or on the screen at the same time. That's just the Wii U, buddy. It already exists. They already did it. You can play it right here and not have to decide, am I going to plan ahead? Am I ever going to want to go play on the TV if the cat's in my lap, or should I just start handled right now? You just get a Wii U and it's already done. And everyone loves the Wii U. It's a great console. Anyway, back to consoles themselves being wireless from the start. I think a big feature is that, again, already we're getting rid of all the cord clutter. You can have a bunch of different systems lined up however you want, wherever you want them, and you can have them accessible whenever. But what I'm thinking about, video games are art, and, increasingly, you can see the form of the video game console becoming art as well. And I think having to take something as beautifully artistic as the shape of the PS5, for instance, or the GameCube, and having to throw them in a little box next to your TV, that's ridiculous. I want to be able to display that somewhere prominently in my house that makes the design aesthetic of my whole room fit together. We got to give these things the space that they deserve, especially as, we go into the future and the artistic aesthetics of these console makers only continue to improve.
All right. Mike.
First and
take
foremost,
that Wii U talk?
First and foremost,
everyone
loves the Wii U. The Wii U sold 13.56 million units.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Which is roughly 117 million short of the Wii. Not everybody loved the Wii U, Sean. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. Although the Wii U does have those capabilities. I'm digging back. The Switch is just different. It's in a whole nother league. The Switch is on its way to 100 million sold. It is a it has console sellers like Breath of the Wild and Mario Kart 8. They bundle it in, and so even though what I am proposing sort of has existed in the past, I believe that there is a unique opportunity for the Switch, which is extremely more portable than your Wii U argument there, and a little bit more portable than your wireless connectivity. You have the opportunity to be able to connect your Switch to any smart TV that you are around, not only to help with the co-op, but also the Switch. Sometimes you do need a break from handheld mode if you don't have an ergonomic maybe like a Hori pad or a certain controller that is a little bit more ergonomic. They do make those, and you have your Pro controller. You could connect it to the TV, be able to play it. Now, yeah, I'll give you this. Maybe handheld mode is the more optimal way to play a lot of those games, sure. But I think for the co-op experience and just the ability to give your hands a rest from that very unergonomic design that the Switch is, I think this is a no-brainer. Versus, I think your idea is good, but you're using the PS5. I think the PS5 is ugly. I would not want to display the PS5 anywhere. I would just want it just sort of hidden away. I mean, I'm going to have to display it somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. It's going to be visible because it's hard not to miss.
Well, it's wireless. You can put it, if you want to hide it, guess what? You can hide it now.
All right. Okay. You guys get one more bash-only argument. That's all you're getting. Go ahead, Sean.
I refuse. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
then all is fair in love and war. I refuse as well.
All right.
That's something you say before you destroy me. I don't know, but thank you.
I have this inkling that someone was planning on saying something after the bash was over. Sean, I wish you would have spoke more about the displaying the console anywhere you want without having to worry about the media towers and everything. That was really good, because that does benefit your home a lot. Not having to worry about the wires, the console right next to the TV. It's always good. Mike, the ergonomics of that controller for the Switch, the Joy-Cons in particular, are bad. I've played multiplayer with the Joy-Cons, and trying to hit those top buttons, no, never, terrible. I think I got to give it to Sean though. I do. I think that a wireless console, and he encompassed the whole thing, the controller and everything with it, would benefit the home more. You would be able to hide the console so no one knows you have it. It wouldn't be, say you get robbed, right? Someone breaks in your house, you get robbed. They won't be able to find the console because it's not out in the open on your media cabinet. It's hidden. No one knows you have a PS5. They know you were playing one. They don't know where it went. All right. Mike, sorry, but Sean got that one. All right. On to the
probably because I chose not to bash you. I had one more argument. Maybe.
Yeah.
No.
All's fair in love and war. Which upcoming indie game will be the 2023 Game of the Year? I'm guessing that's for the indie category or for the entire.
Absolutely not. No. This is gonna be the year.
Indie is winning Game of the Year. Heard it first here, apparently. Mike, you went first that time. Sean, would you like to continue going first, or would you like to switch it up?
No, I would love to hear what indie expert Mike has to start with.
All right, Mike.
I want to reflect his opinion.
You have been granted the torch. You can't hand it away this time. It's yours.
Oh, sad day.
Can you not reverse this? Or
I mean, I could reverse
technically
it,
later, but it would benefit most if he heard yours first and then did it.
Don't tell me how to reverse.
If you want to do it now.
Last year, there was a Devolver Digital showcase that came out around the E3 time, I believe. And man, that showcase was wild. It was fun. It was crazy. Some of the actors in there were pretty funny. And overall, it's just a bombastic, wild show. Mm-hmm. One of the games that they showed, I believe, has the chops to win Game of the Year this year, and that is The Plucky Squire.
Oh, interesting.
I fell in love with this game from the trailer itself. It starts off in a 2D plane in a storybook where you are a little squire who is trying to save the day by defeating the dragons, defeating the enemies. And then he finds a teleportation device of some sort, and he teleports out of the 2D space into the 3D world. Now, from what I gather here is that I think it's sort of like maybe like a kid's room where he is writing, where the kid is writing the story about the Plucky Squire, mm-hmm. and then the Plucky Squire is able to sort of do this like Toy Story effect where he's able to sort of animate himself and teleport into the 3D space and come alive into the real world. The animation, the cartoon aesthetic, the sort of the essence of the world has brilliance written all over it for me. So the Plucky Squire has the Game of the Year potential.
Yeah, Plucky Squire release dates still to be announced 2023 from Devolver Digital for the Switch. Sean, go ahead.
For all platforms, by the way. Switch, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC.
I will not be playing it on the Switch.
Yeah, I remember that was people scoffed when I said I'm Mike and the Expert, but I mean, I remember that trailer. That was sick. That was a good game. It seems like it's a good game.
It looks very good.
I think that I'm thinking. Yeah, no. Let's just go straight into it. I'm gonna pick 9 Sols. Souls? Probably Sols. It is a game that is made by a company that made 2 horror games previously, Detention and this was a big one. I forgot. But it was Red Candle Studios. They made 2 like critically acclaimed games that didn't like get like a super wide audience. But they were critically acclaimed, and they've been in people's minds before because of the controversy that happened where they got censored for their latest game.
Mm-hmm.
But what they're doing now is they're making kind of like a Hollow Knight-esque sort of situation. They compare it to Sekiro, where it's like a Metroidvania focused a lot on like countering, where you're like a little cat person in a place inspired by Taiwanese imagery and like artistic styles and stuff like that. The reason I think it's so cool is because I played a little bit of the demo, and it totally is hitting it's definitely hitting like the flow of the combat with like the countering and fighting back, and the feel of the world is like really cool, and that's like super important for a Metroidvania, especially like what if you're trying to go beyond just the combat, even though combat there, solid, sick. I think it's going to be the game of this year. We're past the game of the narrative. That was 2022. 2023 is going to be the year of the counter.
All right. Yeah. Fun fact: it was a crowdfunded game, and they received $13.6 million over their initial pledge. Announced for Windows, Mac, pending for consoles. Definitely not on Xbox. All right, Mike, go ahead, Plucky Squire. Why is yours?
I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this 9 Sols game, and it has a very awesome art style, sort of like Samurai Jack sort of looking thing, maybe.
I get that. Yeah, I can get that vibe.
I don't know, just a little bit, but yeah, really good pick, Sean. But alas, Plucky Squire will be game of the year. I think one of the things that is going, for the Plucky Squire is its charm as well. It really oozes that charm, like this sort of world that you would want to live in. Has that art style, that sort of that broader appeal than 9 Sols has. And I think that this will have more of a broader combat appeal as well, as far as approachability. I think that it will be a little bit more approachable for the consumer. I think that the very unique aspect to the Plucky Squire is sort of this like Mario Odyssey type thing, where Mario Odyssey, you were in this like 3D space, and then you're able to go into this 2D space, or in this case, vice versa. You're starting in this 3D space, or 2D space rather, sorry, and then you're able to explore this 3D world. But it also has unique, as far as the trailer was concerned, it has unique enemy design. It has unique mechanics even between the 2D versus the 3D, and also based on some of the combat. It is pretty close to some of the combat that we have loved from previous games in the previous years. Last year's Tunic, and then the year before Death's Door. So it has some of those veins as well. Looks like it has some decent and awesome unique boss fights. Yeah, and I think this is just going to be a little bit more approachable than 9 Sols.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah. So when I think of Game of the Year, I'm thinking of like it's not just like, I went and said, it's not like personal for me Game of the Year. It's like, what is going to be a resounding, like, hey, this is going to make a bunch of lists all over the place. And I think 9 Sols is going to hit more of that if we look back at trends of like things that like people like loved in the years they came out. Like, we're talking about the Sekiro, people loved that when they came out. They're like in the Hollow Knights. They're like in Stray last year with the indie, with the animal person and the platforming. I don't know where I heard that from, but I heard multiple outlets talking about Stray as a game of the year. I think Nine Sols is going to hit a lot of those angles. It's time for it's coming from a company. It's a great dev with history of press again. It's been cult classic territory, but I think with this game, this is the point where they reach people going like, oh, I heard about those two games they made before, but this is a game I could actually play. This is increasing in approachability, even though I don't think that approachability is necessarily what defines a game of the year sort of situation. People approaching you to play it at all, but sticking with it. And I think the way that gamers, as a community go, they'll see, a cool art design and very solid mechanics, will be I want to try those solid mechanics. That's kind of the reason Dark Souls and all the Souls games have lasted and become such a cultural juggernaut, is because when it comes down to Game of the Year is often about mechanics and integrating that into a cool world. And it looks like Nine Souls is going to do that. And then adding the animal person thing, which is just that extra little approachability that people clamor for.
All right, one more back and forth, guys. Use it as you will.
I think Devolver Digital as a publisher just has more experience getting to that game of the year sort of aspect. There's been more nominees for Devolver Digital over the developers. Let's see here. What are they called? 1 second. Red Candle Games. I mean, with I believe Death's Door was game of the year for a lot of outlets. So I think Devolver Digital just hits. They know sort of where to highlight their games, and the developer here, All Possible Futures, they got a hit on their hands. They got a sleeper hit. I think that this sort of, again, I go back to the fact that I think that more people are going to experience this game, therefore the conversation is going to be bigger around this game. And I am sort of, obviously we don't know the stories, we don't know the overall aspects of each of these games, but I am sort of just taking that from the aspect of this does hit that 2D sort of itch. You're able to go between multiple dimensions, switch to that 3D, but also, as far as I'm looking within the trailer and within some of the images, we got some platformer elements and some action combat elements that, again, I think this is just going to have a wider appeal, a broader sense of and a broader scope of how many people will actually play it and give it that Game of the Year nod. I think Nine Sols is, it's certainly great looking, and the combat looks amazing too, as far as the trailers that I am seeing. But it also has that sort of niche feel to it. Hollow Knight was big. It is a big game, but Hollow Knight is not one that reaches the masses, such as you even talked about it, Stray met the masses. That's why it was Game of the Year material for at least the Game Awards, and for one other outlet here. So I just think the broader appeal of Plucky Spire will get it going.
Sean, you get one more too.
Okay, yeah. I think at a certain level, numbers of people playing it don't a Game of the Year make. Destiny 2, the Call of Duties, they all get tons of people playing it. Those things are never the Game of the Years, anywhere. And then I have a case study here, where we've got a developer who was doing very cult classic things. Cult classic games never would have reached Game of the Year status. Comes out with a game that seems very niche and very weird. But then it becomes a Game of the Year contender, possibly, if everyone had played it. 3 people on our list of 2021 would have had it on there. And then multiple major news outlets had it. Major gaming news outlets had it in their Game of the Year discussion inscription. It's the exact same trend of what Nine Sols is doing, in a way that I think is kind of, it's not the exact perfect copy of it, but the pathway is there.
Okay. I'm gonna try to be as non-biased as I can. 100%.
Because he just brought up Inscription.
And both of you brought up Stray, technically, and also in one of the images for Plucky, there's a giraffe. So I'm trying my best here to be non-biased across the board.
Giraffe.
There's 2 and 2. So,
but if there was a duck, no
giraffe,
bias.
Giraffe
no
is my
bias.
favorite animal, regardless.
I would have to mark Nine Sols.
Mike, you mentioned Mario Odyssey and how they did things similar, and it worked very well. I played a game called Link Between Worlds. Sean, you've played. Very similar as well. Transferring 2D to 3D, 2D to 3D to do different things, solve puzzles. I wish they would say how long this game is, because I really want to play it. Nine Souls also, on the other side of the coin, looks awesome. It looks really good. I was a fan of Samurai Jack. Mike hit that on the head when he said it. And it's crowdfunded, which means fans want it. They've paid the way, per se, for this game. I think what won Mike this argument is the fact that I think what won Mike this argument is the scope. It's got multiple elements. It's got multiple themes going around. It's got platforming. It's got action. It's got 2D platforming. It's got that niche, that nostalgia feeling to it. I think that's going to do better for it. And not to mention those visuals look stunning. If they can hold it, I hope they do. That's why I was like, the Switch, no. But
yeah, it
Mike,
should be fine.
Plucky Squire, if this gets delayed, I'm going to blame you. You have won this. All right.
Devolver Digital has been really good at hitting
those
their
dates.
dates.
Well, the date is 2023.
Yeah. So they'll hit it.
Also upsetting that Nine Souls is not on Xbox. Because I want to play that. So I'm gonna have to get it on Microsoft.
You have a PC.
Yeah, I'm gonna
that
have to
can play games.
Yeah, PC on Steam. Well, both these are available on Steam. So side by side comparison. Okay, the blind fight. You guys ready for this? This is 2 points for Mike so far and 1 point for Sean. Both of you have a Uno reverse, so if you both use it, then nothing happens.
Yeah, I've just been like more confident in my argument. Sorry.
No, that's good. I like that. It is a last ditch effort. Like I said, if you feel like you're losing, or if you just want to throw off the opponent. This blind fight is the first of the year, so we're going back, way back. Both to a celebrity death match, unhinged celebrity death match, and also back in time. Since it is the IOI episode, I brought it back to the arcade. And this is going to be a battle between arcades. Arcade games, to be specific.
Thank you, because I know no specific arcade.
Mike, these are games themselves. Mike, you got to go first that time, but Sean got to decide that. So you get to choose if you'd like to go first or second here. Or which one you'd like to pick.
I'll go second.
Okay. Would you like to pick your option first?
No, I said I'll go second. Go ahead, Sean.
Okay.
Pick your
no,
option.
I have the two game cabinets that are the fight between the celebrities.
No, give them to Sean. I will choose second.
Okay, you're giving Sean the power to choose which one he wants to fight for?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just clarifying, did not want to mess up the argument here. Sean, your choices are between the 1981 Donkey Kong, classic, old school, and the 1980 Pac-Man. Which one would you like to fight for? And this is Celebrity Deathmatch, which means the characters, anything about those games can come into play.
Oh, they're fighting each other?
Oh, yeah.
Like Donkey Kong's fighting Pac-Man?
No, the cabinet itself grew arms and it's punching. No, yeah,
Oh.
Pac-Man and Donkey. The classics.
They're fighting each other.
Yes, technically,
Okay.
yes. Which means Pac-Man has the
bef-
ghosts and Donkey Kong has Jumpman. If you'd really want to involve them,
You're just taking our arguments. Does Pac-Man have arms?
Not in the original.
Not in the original.
Okay.
You don't get to pick. If you get.
So we're not taking them to a 3. Okay.
No, you're taking those original.
You can make whatever.
Yeah. Unless there's some time travel in the first game I don't know about.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pac-Man.
All right, Sean has chosen Pac-Man. All right, go ahead. You can start it off because Mike knows his argument.
So if you would take a look at,
this is Celebrity Deathmatch. Fight it out, duke it out. You're in a ring.
Yeah. So I mean, all these characters have been in a game fighting each other before. In Super Smash Bros. And I think you'll find that of the people that would fight on the side of the Donkey Kong cabinets, no one can stand up on the tier list of Pac-Man, just based on the case studies that we have so far, in one or two different games. Pac-Man is just a higher tier fighter, just on the merits of all the simulations so far, and I think I'm going to rest on that for now.
All right, Mike, Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sean, but I'm not going that route because I do know that Pac-Man's better in Smash. So I'm just going purely and simply, Donkey Kong's a gorilla. Donkey Kong is huge. Like, Pac-Man doesn't stand a chance as far as strength, as far as like combat, natural instincts. Like, just, this is a gorilla here we're talking about. Like, I just don't think Pac-Man has the physicality that he needs in a celebrity deathmatch style fight. As far as, I mean, this is just a dude, is a yellow dude with a triangle pizza cutout that goes chomp chomp chomp, eating marbles around a map. Donkey Kong can come in, then can transfer himself over to the Pac-Man cabinet, break down that maze, and just destroy Pac-Man. And take all the food with him. You know, the pretzel, the cherry, all that stuff. And plus, I'm sorry, but Miss Pac-Man was a better game.
Oh, wow. Sean, go ahead. He just came into your kitchen, took all your food, and told you your girl was better.
Here's the thing. I'm not gonna fight progress. Yeah, sure, Miss Pac-Man's a better game, but not part of this fight. Like, if she was part of this fight, she would be both all the time. That's great. That's irrelevant, though. You're not gonna take a moral victory over me on this one. Oh boy, what are we doing? So your entire argument is focused on the physicality of Donkey Kong, which the game itself refutes. Like, look at Mario. He fits the same beat of like, yes, he does not have the physicality, yada yada, the brute strength to defeat Donkey Kong, and yet, nevertheless, he persisted and he does so. And then you go ahead and see, yes, right now we are strictly talking about the fighters in front of us during this time, but if you look at the arc of Donkey Kong since then, you will see that even he has realized that brute strength is not what wins the day, because since then he has moved on to do other things like find the value of friendship. He uses different tools and such that rely more on a sort of intelligence than necessarily brute strength. Even Donkey Kong has come to grow eventually away from pure physicality, so why should we rely on it? And we should know better. Pac-Man can beat him.
If you're going to use Miss Pac-Man and the value of progress, and get rid of Miss Pac-Man in my argument, I'm also going to do that with Donkey Kong. Yeah, sure, he progressed. We're just going to move on from that because we're talking about OG Donkey Kong in here. Let me bring in a little bit of a movie. And it's a little bit of a story time here. Donkey Kong, he's a bad guy. And he's just down on his luck. Mr. Jumpman, Mario, sorry, Cicero. He's always winning, right? He's always getting the princess back. Donkey Kong stands no chance. But if we take a little peek inside, because we've learned from a little movie called Wreck-It Ralph that bad guys do have hearts as well. And bad guys don't always want to be the bad guys. But, in a matter of a fight, you still gotta pound the Pac-Man. I don't think Pac-Man has this fight in his hands. because he has no hands. You know what I'm saying? Donkey Kong, yeah, these bad guys in these old arcade games, they're down on their luck. You know, they're always losing. But that doesn't mean anything as far as in a physical fight against the only Pac-Man.
Keep it going. This is getting good. I'm grabbing popcorn.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know why you went off this tangent. That was a whole tangent on the Heart of Gold, and this thing that is completely irrelevant. You even said so yourself. So we're gonna move on that. But I think with Pac-Man, so you're right, no arms, and you keep saying that over and over. But see, Pac-Man has the only two things he needs. He is a figure that is pure form and pure function. He has the brain he needs inside of a case that is built to chomp. And all he needs is to use his agility, which he's got agility with just a chomper and a brain. Like, explain that. That's amazing on its own. But then he's got the agility to move past the brute strength of an unstoppable opponent, such as a ghost or a gorilla, and then move into a position where he can either escape to a more advantageous position or to find a power-up, which are available in his game and his world, to just defeat to power up his choppers and defeat any opponent. He's got a win button right there. Like, I didn't make the rules, but I'm certainly going to use them.
You know, sure, Pac-Man does have a lot of things going for him. He does have the ability to chomp, but do you know what he doesn't have the ability to? Jump. Pac-Man goes in one direction. There is no verticality to him unless he's going literally up. But if we're thinking about it, it is a 2D plane, right? And if you lay that 2D plane flat, if you lay that maze flat, he is going one direction. He's not going up. He's going one direction, forward, horizontal, whatever. He's only going in that direction unless you move him back to the left. Donkey Kong has that verticality. He could just jump and pull a Mario and just Koopa Trooper him, Pac-Man right on the head. Like, Donkey Kong has that versatility to his combat. He has the verticality. Unless you move that stick, right? Like Pac-Man's going in one direction. Can't really go. Can't really compete with a jump.
All right. You guys get one more sentence. One to build and one to bash. No, let's do two sentences. One to build and one to bash. I feel like that's fair. Sean, your build and bash. Two sentences.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna use it in one because that's what my fighter would do. Pure function here. What comes up must come down, and until it comes down, it being the donkey, Pac-Man will dodge and will bite him when he lands.
And Mike?
Yes, what must go up will come down, but on your head. There's no ability to dodge when I'm sitting on you.
Wow. Jeez. You guys didn't even cheat in this fight. You brought in other people and took them out. Brought them in and took them out. This was a normal death match. I wouldn't even say it's a classic celebrity death match. Which is fine. That being said, I think Pac-Man took the win.
No!
I think he did.
I disagree. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know.
Uno reverse.
Right now, after I already... Okay, no.
No.
Uno reverses are nulled from this episode. Sorry, fam. Pac-Man has taken the lead on that one. Pure function. Great use of words.
Finally.
That puts us in the Metacritic, which I wasn't expecting for today, but I brought it up nonetheless, just in case.
That's really rude to not expect that we would tie. I mean,
you
said
that you were going to lose everything. I wasn't expecting.
You did. You did do promises, and then you fought a little too hard.
Yeah. This is a game that we did not mention today. By an IP that was originally from a developer we did mention today. Yeah, long run on, but
That's
this is
wild.
for the Xbox 360. The Metacritic score out of 100, a singular title. Duke Nukem Forever for the Xbox 360. This came out in 2011 after like 10 years of development. When you guys have your numbers, let me know. And
I
then,
have mine.
Mike, you chose to go first, last. That doesn't. Would you like to tell your number, or would you like Sean?
68.
50 reverse.
What?
Did you just reverse the Metacritic?
Yeah.
I'll reverse. I want my
All right.
68.
That's fine. Take your 68.
All right, so Uno reversed the Metacritic score for the win. Sean, the correct score is 49.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
Damn, what?
You won because
Yeah,
I
I know.
reversed it back.
Yeah, no, just the
I'm confused here.
whole
missed it by one.
thing. I'm
You
not
missed it by
upset that
one.
it happened. Just in awe of
Well,
of
Sean,
situation.
our winner of the first point of this season, we are keeping track this season. So
Oh,
when
no.
it comes to
Oh,
say this
no.
right, when it comes to the mighties, that is the correct word. Mike and Sean, your
Mighty
scores will be
awards, yeah.
tallied up. Sean, that is 1 point for you for this year of Test Your Might. Anything to say to your fans?
Yeah, I think more to come this year. Look, every win comes with a loss, and I'm the one that gave Mike the title of the the indie master here, the indie genius, but I'm sad it's not me. But he showed that he's earned it so far with that one victory. I'll take the other victories.
Okay.
Well, here, ceremonially,
expert.
Uno reversed the indie expert to Sean.
You already used it. Doesn't
I
count.
was definitely not expecting the Uno reverse to be thrown in the Metacritic.
That was fun.
Threw the judge off his stand. All right, on to the news. The PlayStation 5 shortage is officially over, apparently. The PlayStation has reported that they have sold over 30 million units at CES here. And also they're going on with PSVR 2 as well. So they are claiming that the shortage is over and you should be able to find them in the wild. I guess that's the way to put it.
And a new accessibility controller, which is really
Yeah.
cool.
You guys hear about that? Do you guys feel like the shortage is over?
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty confident that I will be able to get a PS5 for Spider-Man 2 this year. Like I really do. You know, I the only thing that I'm upset about is that I might have to get the disc version. I wanted the digital version, but it doesn't seem like they're producing a lot of digital versions, if I'm being honest. So I might have to get the disc version, but which is okay, because then I think what I could do is, like, for games that I have Horizon Forbidden West on PS4, and I think for only like $10 instead of buying the full PS5 version, you could just upgrade. I think that's how it works. I wish it worked just like Xbox with just smart delivery, where you just load it up and you get the newest one, but whatever.
Sean, how about you? You feel like it's over?
Oh yeah, I think they were smart to double down on that statement by kind of helping to ensure that it's over by one simultaneously, like, maybe they do have more production happening, but also they're raising prices so that maybe demand is also lowering, which would make would make it more accessible to people that still want to pay the money or have the same price. So how you do it?
I know I shared under
Smart business.
Inside Baseball here that I went into my local Walmart about like 2 weeks ago, and they had 3 PS5s disc versions with the God of War in them, and 2 Xbox One X's, and they always have S's there, but it's the first time I've seen both consoles at the same time behind glass, and I was blown away.
The Series X or the One X?
The Series X and the
Okay.
Series S. Yeah, sorry, did I say
You
1X?
said One X. Sorry,
My bad.
yeah.
Not
so I was
last gen,
confused.
current gen. or delayed gen, whichever you'd like to prefer it called. All right, on to the next subject. There's a lot of PlayStation. This is an interesting one. I just put in our little note if you see that. This is about a flaw in the design of the PS5, apparently. This has been multiple reports now that standing the PS5 upright could result in liquid moving and freezing and becoming unplayable, pretty much, with the chips. Not good. Scary, for sure, especially with a console that is very expensive and is meant to look that way. They've displayed it that way the whole time. I've even seen pictures of people that have played with it laying down and it's happened. So that's very worrisome if it's happening regardless to your orientation. Is that good, guys?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not good, but I think that it's too little reported at this point for it to be like a huge like blow up thing. Yeah. So I mean, we'll certainly see where it comes, what it comes to, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a huge deal as of right now. PS5s should still be under warranty at this point. Especially for this type of thing, or they if it was only a 2-year warranty, they should extend it if these things are coming out like this. So, yeah,
could be a troublesome beginning of a red ring of death. Is worrisome. Could be, like Mike said, small amounts of people, but still being reported. Sean, scary. You buy a $500, $600 console and
yeah, that's scary. I mean, like, since it's about like the cooling thing, like I don't think it is going to be as like, I have no idea, but just the feeling is it's not going to be as big as Red Ring Dick. But also it could be, like, since it's a delayed action sort of situation, and they've been like, there haven't, like, wow, we were just talking about the production. There's more of them coming out now. Like, they've been in a shortage before. Like, we wouldn't even have known, like, at that point. Like, all of it could hit now, like, after a certain point of, like, lifetime. So, we don't know how big it's going to be.
Possible. And our last topic, off of PlayStation, or possibly on PlayStation, 2 gaming predictions for 2023. We're not limiting it to Xbox or PlayStation, just gaming in general. You can limit it if you'd like. One of them being realistic, and the other one being outlandish. And then we'll come back next year and see who was right. Mike, you seem to start a lot of those debates first. Sean, why don't you start this one? You could start with a realistic or an outlandish, and then we'll switch off.
I don't remember what mine were from last year, because I feel like it was at the beginning of the last one, too. I feel like I said Hollow Knight was going to come out. I was wrong. Oh, well.
You could do it again, because I think it's coming out this year.
Look, I'm not gonna speak on it this year. Just
just in
for
case
the sake of it.
It was
just
Sean's
in
fault.
case. Yeah. I've probably, I feel like I was half-heartedly tracking it as we were going. I feel like I've made 3 or 4 claims already about what 2023. Oh yeah, I said it was gonna be the year of the
Indies.
The year of the counter. I did say it was. I also did say it was going to be Indie Game of the Year. No, I think what I'm gonna start with is E3's back. It's gonna die again this year.
Oh, really?
This year.
Is that the realistic one or the outlandish one? Please tell me the outlandish.
My heart of hearts says realistic, but just with the way people want to invest in things, I feel like it's the outlandish claim.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Mike, you can start with either. I'd recommend starting with your realistic one. You said that was realistic, Sean?
No, he said outlandish.
All right. Outlandish it is, then. Start off with your outlandish.
I think Nintendo is going to announce a Switch 2. Not a Switch Pro, but a Switch 2, the successor.
Like a 2.0.
What are they switching to?
Something. But Switch 2, the same as Switch 1, but more powerful. a lot of the rumor has been sort of just like Switch Pro, right? And that sort of, I think, turned into the OLED. But I think that they will announce a Switch 2 this year, to ramp up for next year.
Interesting. As you know, mine are always crazier than crazy. Mine here is the Activision Blizzard deal is going to close somewhere, I'm going to say May, April, that time period. And then shortly after, Xbox is going to acquire Capcom.
That's outlandish, right?
That's outlandish.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's outlandish. Yeah, Capcom is it. Okay. Sean, back over to you with your realistic.
All right, so that last one I said, that's real. That's real. This is going to be the most outlandish thing. My game of the year is going to be multiplayer shooter. I don't even know what games are coming out.
But it's going to be a multiplayer shooter.
It's going to be a multiplayer shooter.
Wow.
So
a personalized prediction. I like it. Throwing a curveball. Mike,
so this is the outlandish one. Okay.
Mike, your outlandish / realistic or
So I think Xbox has never had a Game of the Year at the Game Awards. They've never had a single Game of the Year at the Game Awards. So I think that Starfield is not only going to be nominated, but I think it could win.
That's intense. Realistic. Well, I don't know. The other one kind of could be realistic, right? Buying Capcom.
They're going to be stuck in the legal
me,
stuff. The other one,
Activision Blizzard was realistic. So personally, it could have been realistic. No, my realistic is the Call of Duties are going to be added to Game Pass with their DLC in conjunction with PlayStation Plus. They are going to be added at the same date, at the same time for both services. And that's how it is. That's how it's going to have to be.
I can actually see that.
Wow, is that how my prediction's going to happen? It's finally I'm not going to have to pay for these things, and then I'm going to get into the extraction Call of Duty, extraction shooter Call of Duty,
and then
it's going to be my favorite game
of the year. Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's how it's going to happen. It's all going to run in a train.
I think you could get into DMZ anyway, Sean.
Mike, I think you could get into DMZ.
I'm not. I don't have the space on my hard drive.
All right.
Oh, I definitely don't.
That ends our news section for today. A little bit fun, a little bit crazy. Going into our gaming draft. This is a new segment we're starting today. We did a little bit of a trial on a Christmas episode, if you've seen it, on the What the Fun Show side of our podcast channel. But nonetheless, this is the best gaming consoles of all time. Each person will get 3 picks, and the overall value will win, judged by you guys. But you have to judge by the overall value. Can't be biased. Sean, you won the debates in Test Your Might. What is the order of the revealing topics here?
Of the draft?
Of the drafts.
Okay, so I'm picking one, then we're snaking and coming back, or
we're not snaking. We're just going.
Oh, I'm just
in a row,
saying
and then we'll continue.
Oh, okay.
In a row. Continue. Okay. Yeah.
3DS.
Who goes after
so you're going first?
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah, I'm going first. I'm taking it. Done.
Okay. Done.
It's done. He did it.
I'm paying attention.
Who's going second?
I promise. Just.
You want to type, Mike?
Sure.
I thought you put your cursor there to type and then it didn't move.
No, it was just there.
Wow. Like he knew. For myself, pick the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going Steam Deck.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean. Whoa.
PlayStation 2.
Currently off the board.
Justin already took PlayStation 2.
Yeah, that was my first.
Look, I promise, I'm paying attention.
All right. So 3DS is what you picked.
I'm looking.
Just in case you forgot.
Yeah.
I've got PlayStation
Thank
2.
you.
We have an outline.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Remember when I said
you know what? I was gonna
there?
save this one, because no one's gonna pick it. But we talked about it earlier. Obviously, I'm gonna stick by what I said before, the Wii U.
Okay.
The best overall value goes to. I can't. If fans pick the Wii U, I swear. Okay.
They'll
I
be in
mean,
the
that's assuming that fans are gonna pick.
Yeah, that's true. My backup, in case PlayStation 2 was picked, has still not been picked, and that is the Xbox 360. 2007, baby. And 6.
So here's the thing. I was thinking about the Xbox 360, but I think that for overall value, if we're talking that way, I think the Series X and S are better.
Game Pass arguments.
Because, yeah, certainly it can't play the
You have to
full
pick
library
one.
of
I can't
360.
pick X or S. You have to pick one. Thank you. 3DS is not DS.
more 3Ss and 2DS. I did consider doing all three of those though.
As your 3 picks.
All right, so I'll do the Series X then because it is future-proofing your console. It has Game Pass, and it could play the heavy hitters from the 360 era onward because of backwards compatibility.
Very
Well,
good.
if you haven't downloaded already.
Sean, your 3rd round pick.
Am I gonna?
This is your last pick. Closing out
Yeah.
your...
Thank you. Thank you for...
Would you like a reminder of what's been picked?
No, I'm looking at it, but I appreciate the accessibility options on this podcast.
You're welcome.
What's it going?
Screw it, I'm doing this. Let's go to the Switch. We've got the previous consoles. We've got
Nintendo across
the
the board.
portability. Yeah. We've got, the theme. It's great. It's a good time.
You went for it. And for that,
Also,
I'm proud.
notably, all of two of them at least, pretty hackable in a way that expands the library in a way that the other ones aren't necessarily as easy to do.
We didn't say anything here.
To play the games you already own, only.
Yeah,
But
of course.
Accessibility,
Yeah.
preservation.
Gosh.
The owned ones.
I'm going to go... God, the 3DS is so good. It's so powerful to
Thank
start
you.
off with. It is. It is very good. Because it has the entire DS back catalog with added benefit. I'm going with Atari 2600. I'm going OG. What started it all at home for most people. I know it wasn't the first console. Technically, Pong was very good in homes too, but Atari 2600 had the catalog of games for a lot of people, and I feel like there's good value there for a final fight.
So, the Steam Deck is very good at emulating a lot of these consoles. So that's why I grabbed it first. And so that's why I'm sort of going with a console here that is not really emulatable.
Actually, I do gotta bust in and say that the 3DS in particular is hard to emulate most games. Speaking as someone that's tried to emulate their own games on computers, that were kind of comparable to the Steam Deck.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I was saying that I'm not even considering Game Boy Advanced because I could just do it on the Steam Deck, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I want to say
so
the
I'm
Steam
actually
Deck is technically considered a handheld gaming computer.
Oh my god, well then all mine are gone.
I'm going with the PlayStation 4. I think the PlayStation 4 has so many bangers on it, and it has the cross-platform stuff as well. PlayStation 4 was such a hit, so I'm gonna go with that.
Very good. Original Game Boy did not make the list. That's another one a lot of people would pick. All right, so let me read it back to you. For Sean, the 3DS, the Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch. For myself, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and the Atari 2600. And for Mike, the Steam Deck, the Series X, and the PlayStation 4. Make sure down below in the comments or over on the Twitter, you let us know who you thought won the draft. We all know who won, right? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean that hard drive for the X, not worth it. You should have went the S. You shouldn't have been a coward. Anyway, let's go.
Yeah. One stick, one button. Come on, Atari. All right.
I have a disk drive.
And that's our episode. You guys have fun?
Yeah. It's good to be back. Good to be back.
Episode 101 is out. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you are still here, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, leave us a review, leave a comment, let us know how we're doing. If you want to be on the show, if you have got a movie for our favorite series over on the What the Fun Show said, let us know, and we might be able to have you on for that, as well as a debater. If you'd like to be on the show, let us know. If you know your video game knowledge and you could stand the test of your might, you can come up here.
Sure.
Yeah. Episode 101. Thank you for sticking around. For me, the Duck, for Sean, and for Mike, thank you, and we'll see you next week. Have a great weekend.
Bye.